we'll call the meeting to order, and again, I appreciate y'all taking time on a Tuesday because just didn't get enough people here last week to have a meeting. So, all right, Daniel, any changes or additions to this agenda?
Nothing that I'm aware of, Chairman.
We'll entertain a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
First, approved.
Have you got the paper with you?
Okay, all in
Billy.
favor?
Who was the second?
I'd say. You got it.
All right.
Who did what?
Billy and
Billy
me.
and me.
Sorry.
Motion to approve the agenda, and I think it was unanimous. So we've had opportunity to review minutes from the June 30 meeting. Anybody have any questions, comments about the minutes? If not, the motion to approve those minutes as presented.
So moved.
A second, someone?
Second.
And all in favor. Thank you very much. I don't know if Ms. Vaughn is going to make it, but I can tell you that I think our visitor numbers are kind of off the charts. Everywhere you go, there's people. And I don't think we'll do any worse than last year, but when the fiscal year is said and done, so that's a good thing. I've got nothing of interest to add to the conversation, I don't think, today. Went out and took a look at part of the lake trail the other day, and saw a big old white pine out of the road. Got to get somebody out there to do the bush hogging again. It's the weeds are getting pretty good, but there's obvious use. And some people in the horse community actually took a tree out of the road out there on the gate. So anyway, that's all I've got for you here today. Daniel, you got anything going on with the office, a sign, or any updates?
Yeah, I will give a slight update. We have sent the deposit. Mr. Turner picked it up the other day, and it's sent in. We'll have, should have, he felt like within 3 to 4 weeks we would have everything here. And stuff started, so on the sign, and of course as soon as it comes in, then it's here when we have balance.
Good. It'd be good to see you. I think it'll be an asset, not just us, but to the community, a good place to put out community news.
Yes, sir.
For sure.
We want the ball games on, kid.
I would hope so. We're going to get a TV put in here.
Yeah.
Jeff Hockman. Sell that at the party.
So that,
Be on Facebook, won't it, where you can put it on that sign.
yeah, we can do it live. Yeah. Okay, Daniel.
All right. We, report-wise, you can see what visitors are looking like. And I'm not sure, one of the things I wanted to ask Jeanette about, we've been putting them down as, if it's a husband and wife, we've been counting them as one entity. Did we do that last year, or have we changed the way we're counting?
Well, we've always counted like one vehicle. Sometimes if they give me the husband and wife's name, I'll count it as two, but I put that little thing up there, plus family and friends, so
Okay.
that.
So I think we're probably in the same category as we were last year.
Do we know where they're coming from? Do we ask them that question?
Yeah, we asked them
Has that information been compiled?
that.
Everything?
It has been to a certain point, and they come and gather it. Like the next time Chelsea and Hunter come in, they'll do that and digitize it. But no, we're following that pretty closely. And that's the two things that I concentrate on. That's the reason I was asking the question. So I usually, don't ask every single person their name, because a lot of people will reluctant. You have to really establish that at that point. But what I do ask is where they're from, and of course, obviously, when they're coming in for a reason. And so the reason and where they're from are what our focus is, or mine is. So just to get, and you can, so there you can see what those numbers are. And again, my contention is we probably need to kind of sharpen up and focus what we're doing on recording those people, and make sure that Jeanette and I are both recording them in the same way.
So is there some place we can take a look at that, or would you get Chelsea to share?
Yeah, we'll have that in the next report we get from them. We'll have that.
Okay.
That's a good idea.
It's kind of curious.
We use it to target market.
Yeah.
I mean, that's exactly what we're doing with it. But no, we'd be happy to. And it's surprising because, for instance, the number of people from Texas would surprise you. The number of people from California would surprise you. It's an interesting thing. But so we will definitely get that on board. I picked a few things that I thought would be of importance to update you about. We'll begin with of course, we're in the full fling event season. 2 weeks ago, we had the Dragon Hill Climb, and that was a huge success. And as we know, and Randy, thank you for the article. As we know, this is the first year of the beginning of a circuit that's going to be established with the hill climb, and we feel like that it's going to get bigger and better as time goes on. So we actually have a follow-up meeting planned with the SCCA folks in early December to actually begin planning again for next year's, and to see what kind of analyze what things we might do differently, and hopefully increase participation as far as both the participants themselves and also the spectators. Then last weekend was our biggest car group of the year, which is the Miatas. It was Miatas at the Gap. I don't know if many of you realized it or not. I know you realize they were here, but one of the things you may not have realized is that Fontana was out of power for a pretty good part of the day, weekend, if not all of it.
2 days, right?
Yeah, it was 2 days. So they actually ended up doing, having some modifications they had to do. And but all in all, talking to the organizers, it was successful again. And one of the things that we've always tried to do is a lot of groups get swag, and a lot of groups ask for them. So we try to match the swag with what the activity is. So I'm going to pass these around. These are what we actually gave that group this year, and that'll give you an idea. One of them is a tire inflation gauge, and the other one is a tire depth gauge. And so they actually were excited to get those. The other thing that I'll mention is that during the hill climb, our videographer was there, and they spent a great deal of time over 2 days doing the videos of that, and it focused on a family. Actually, that one was a husband and wife, and what they did. But in doing so, it also featured folks of all generations, and you would absolutely be surprised, wouldn't you, Randy, of the people, the ages. It covers at least 3-4 generations, I would say, of our population. So it's that was a good event. I think it's going to be an exciting thing and an interesting thing to watch as a video. The folks that were the participants and the organizers were really excited that they were able to be involved with it. We actually have the next one is the Graham County Sesquicentennial. I have you a calendar of events. We're getting ready to print it here in a minute. That just came in hot off the press. After that is the Santiago Lake Trail official dedication. We've talked with the Forest Service folks, and tentative dates for that are sometime either during the week of the 26th of September or the week of October 10th. And we're working now to try to determine what would be the best date, and we'll try to get that out to you just as soon as we can.
We need to do that today.
Okay.
For any of y'all that want to come.
Okay. So.
But I think we should, as many of us as can.
Yeah, I'd like to do it.
I'd prefer to do it in September while things are still green.
Okay.
So that's October 10th through the 14th and September the 26th through the 29th.
And he actually,
so those 2 weeks.
Now, on the week of the 26th,
Mm-hmm.
it was the Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday were his available dates then.
I'll be out of town, but I don't have to be there.
So 27th through 30th in September.
Yeah, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Tuesday or Wednesday work.
What about October, Patricia?
The week October 10th is fine, but I'll be in Tennessee that whole week of September.
And it's October the 10th, the week of October the 10th. I'd like to get as many of those as we can, so I'll
October
be
10th
flexible.
or 11th.
If October's better, how many is October better for how many?
Either one's good for me, so just go with it.
Yeah,
Whatever.
either if it's the Monday, Tuesday in October, that works great. If it's the Tuesday, Wednesday in September, that works good.
Okay. All right,
We're gonna make them on Tuesdays then?
Will, is Tuesday better for you?
Yeah, it don't matter to me. But
Okay,
I mean, if
we'll
it's-
get the
if
date
it's
set
in the-
with Andy and Andy Gaston and Heath Emmons, and then we'll just send out a notice in time.
So right now we're looking at October 11th, 10th or 11th. Is that what you see?
We'll go September
That,
27th.
yeah. September 27th through 30th, October 10th through the 14th.
We're gonna have 3 days?
No, it's just one day, but
Okay.
those are the available dates for Andy Gaston.
All right.
So Tuesday or Wednesday, is that what you're saying are best?
Sounds like that's the best for everybody. Okay. All right, we'll get it set and we'll let you know.
The other thing just to mention is that your chairman has been working awfully hard he's actually continuing to work awfully hard to make sure that trail is the best that it can be, not just in the maintenance, but there are a few other things that he's been working on awfully hard. So I just wanted to let you know about that. There were some improvements that we needed to make, and he's been working to get that done diligently.
Good.
Are we gonna pay to have somebody cut that again today?
Yeah. Yeah, it's that's just the best way to do it. Do the road, does the bank, looks really good. Yeah, Joe Waldrop sold his tractor. Sold it to Corey Adams, and I was communicating with Corey this week, and he said he would do it. Just we need to do a work day. I know I've said that over and over and over. But we need to go out and weed around all the mile marker signs and things like that, open them up so that the guy with the bush hog doesn't knock those down. So we probably spend a half day out there just doing
We could know a week or so ahead.
Yeah.
You know, that'd be real good.
Yeah, I'm kind of getting caught up. I've had a lot of things going on, but I'm getting more free time, and my garden died and didn't produce a whole lot of stuff, so I've got spare time coming. Yeah. So we'll get that done, Rick.
Can we not borrow them inmates?
Hmm?
Can we not borrow the inmates?
I would prefer not to.
Okay, all right.
I mean, probably could, but we'd still, somebody would still have to be out there. So, be good for us. We'd go out there and cook a hot dog, maybe fix some s'mores or something down there by the lake, take fishing boat. Yeah. Go ahead, Daniel.
All right.
We got off track.
The next item I wanted to address was Fading Voices. As you know, we worked very closely with Fading Voices folks this year. They were pleased with our partnership, and we are meeting on the 21st of September to do the follow-up meeting there to see what we felt like were the best practices that we have and what things we can improve on, and to begin planning for next year for that event. Also, the next item there was the Azalea Festival. There we have a tentative planning meeting for next year's festival on the 14th of September, and we do plan for it to be a full-fledged open event, and we hope that it'll be one of the best events that we've had in years. Go back to the micro documentary series and Brooks Bennett. One of the first things they did was the river release back in, I guess it was 1st of July or late of June. And there we featured a family, but what I really wanted to mention there was that the chairman commissioned a group to speak with Brooks and kind of give him some clarity about what we really wanted, and I was very pleased with that discussion. We held it in July, just before the hill climb, and Rick and Billy were there along with Chelsea and Brooks and myself, and I think it was a very interesting conversation, very fruitful conversation.
Very good discussion.
And I appreciate both Rick and Billy. They explained what they wanted, and I believe Brooks understood it, and I certainly know that he was doing his best to carry that out. One other thing that came out of that
See if he's seen.
meeting was that we were also, there's an interest by more than one member of our board that we make sure that we've got good coverage, not necessarily just videography coverage, but good coverage as far as photography at all our events throughout the county. So we're doing our best to be diligent about that and make arrangements so that happens, especially during the 150th. That was that first phone call I got earlier today was about that. Website refreshing, we're way down the line on that. I looked at the draft of the form that will be in the portal for the accommodation owners to update. That will roll out either before the end of the week or the very first of the week, depending on if we need to change it. We've got a meeting scheduled for tomorrow afternoon to review that and to make sure that that's like we want it. The other changes are ongoing and they're progressing at this point at a pleasing rate. So we're about to close that project. We're not close it out, but we're about to get it to the point that we feel like it's going to make an impact, a positive impact. In conjunction with that is the accommodations database update. And there are two things that are happening in the finance office at the county. They're updating their data, and we're matching it with ours. But in addition to that, this work that we're doing to allow people to update through their accommodation information through the portal will really pull that whole thing together. Because a lot of times that will help us understand where things are and who's actually remitting the tax. We were excited that on Friday I received Monday morning I received an email from Dogwood As you might recall, the EDA grant that we're working with the Historical Association about, the match for it is hopefully coming through Dogwood Health. We don't know that, but we're trying our best to do that. And we have a meeting scheduled. We've submitted a preliminary application. It was accepted. They asked us to submit a full application, which we did, and now we're in the phase where they're wanting to talk, Zoom-wise, face-to-face, to find out, just to get all their details answered. So that's going to happen either the 18th or 19th this month.
So what is that grant, Daniel? What is that for the museum?
It's a full renovation of the Snyder Building for the museum and a cultural center, etc. As far as promotional activities, I wanted to cover that real briefly. I've got something that I'll read each of you. This is the latest. Thanks, sir. This is our latest Our State ad, and this is one of the last. Well, no, actually, it's probably not one of the last, but we're in the middle of this Picture Yourself Here campaign. That's what we've done as far as the digital and the print advertising. And this one will actually appear in the October issue, which will hit the stands, mid-September. And this is in conjunction with our campaign that we called, that last several years we've called Your Road to Fall, which features the Skyway, and we do that in conjunction with the folks in Tellico Plains, and we actually have a meeting scheduled for Thursday on that to kick it off and try to see how we can sharpen that campaign up a little bit. Although it doesn't take a lot, it's been one of the more successful things we've done, and it's primarily a social media campaign. But it has promoted, and then we've actually had them count both ways. On the Tennessee side, they've had road counters, and there's been an increase in traffic during the periods that we have run this promotion. The other thing that I'll mention is that we are still working to try to really come up with a good, solid, doable plan, per the board's instructions about things to do in the shoulder seasons. And we're working with Stokoe Valley Center there to have an activity, in that area or around some of the things that they do, to partner with them to do that. So I don't have anything specific to report yet, but that has been an ongoing thing that we've done.
Yeah, we talked about that a little bit last night at the board meeting about doing some things, especially during those months, January, February, March through early spring.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully, something can take place there, like a concert, instead of just having like an evening concert, 10 and it's over, but to have them on a continuing basis. So I know Jennifer will be getting back up with you on that.
That's good. And one of the things we wanted to do in conjunction with it is play off Dale's idea to have not just the concert, but really have the concert be one of the featured things, along with a workshop of some sort, or swap meet, or both.
Sure.
Anything that's associated with whatever it is. So the activity carries over 2 or 3 days, hopefully.
I think if we could ever get a cigar box guitar festival started here on an annual recurring basis, I think they would feel Stokoe Center up to where you'd have to have somewhere bigger.
She's done that.
It's a big community. Go ahead.
And I was just going to say, we're actually working to figure out ways to not only include, but ways to ensure that accommodations are being positively affected, that we're putting heads in beds. So be that, sending out communication about this is what we intend to do, this is the time. Would you like to be involved in a promotion to the accommodation owners is definitely a thing that we will do. Jeanette's gone right now. I've got the last little thing, it's actually the huge thing at this point, that I wanted to speak on was the Sesquicentennial Celebrations. And Jeanette's got what I think is will never be final until it's done, but she's got a list of activities during the 2 weekends that I've got from the board, and this is the latest and should be the right thing, as well as an example of what we're actually going to be handing out and that kind of thing. So she should have that ready in a moment. The one thing that I want to encourage folks to do, and I'll hand this out as well, is to make sure that you are aware of the talent show, because it's one of the things that the committee did was design, that being the steering committee for the 150th, they designed that Saturday so that it dovetailed and really just rolled right into this event that the Cancer Society Cancer Support Group is doing, the talent show at the high school. So just wanted to have information about it as well.
Can I go back to one thing here?
Sure.
It's back on the page about the Santiago Lake Trail dedication. One of the things that I've been trying to work with Heath and Andy on is dedication of the Kids in Parks project and the CCC Trail. And they had suggested sometime in September or October. Would it be okay with you guys if I could see if we could coordinate those two? Because it's kind of hard to get Andy and Heath together.
Yeah.
So if they're here on the Santiago Lake Trail dedication, then maybe we could have that dedication the same day, as long as the times didn't bump up against each other. So you know what date and what time.
There's two of them. She said two
Then I
different.
can start working on the CCC Trail dedication.
Yeah, what's
They look the same.
I would imagine doing the lake trail, excuse me, around 10 o'clock in the morning.
And then early afternoon probably be okay on the.
Whatever you can do,
Yeah.
you know.
I was out an email and I'll do it again.
That's a good idea.
I mean,
It is hard to nail down, and
Yeah.
there's
We'll go ahead.
always a possibility they could
You
get
can make
sucked
them-
out on a fire somewhere. They usually don't that time of
Right,
year,
right.
but it could happen. I'm surprised it was here last week. I'm surprised it was here. I think it already been to Alaska.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you
You
want
guys
me
may
to
have fires here by then.
contact them about doing?
Yeah.
What were the times, Rick?
Well, we
do-
wanted
do
to
the
see if
trail
we
at
could
10.
coincide it with the dedication,
Okay.
same date, and if the Santiago Trail's in the morning, then maybe we could do it early afternoon with the CCC Trail. And I'll send them an email too with a copy of you and Dale on
Yeah,
this.
spend a couple hours
What do
on
we
the
do?
lake trail thing.
Just pace
and,
it.
maybe at the
No.
end of it,
You keep that
cook a
down,
hot
try
dog
to
or
get them.
something over to Carver Cemetery.
Do what?
So at the end of the lake trail thing, maybe cook a hot dog or something over at the cemetery parking area, and then just roll right into whatever it is that you
Sure.
want to do.
That's good.
What,
So I'd need to to invite Duke Energy Foundation and the people from Kids in Park and then County TNT Great Organization, and U.S. Forest Service. So those are the 5 main players.
And actually, Andy asked me to make sure that on the bike trail dedication that we invited the Blue Ridge Parkway Association folks. So you may want to do that there too.
You know, the Kids and Parks office is located there at Blue Ridge Park.
We'll just make a day out of it.
Yeah, make it a party all day.
What,
Go fishing.
and we're gonna, so I need to first contact Andy about the two days.
Let him pick the day.
Okay.
And, try and pick a rain date. Or something, they get back up.
Okay.
It's got the decor and head on it, look at
Yeah, let me explain what you've got there.
You got the same thing.
No,
Give
they're,
one of those back.
no, they're two different things. The one,
I know, but I had the same.
oh, I'm sorry. You've got one which is the schedule of events, and that's the way it's going to be presented. And then the other one is actually a promotional piece that will be handed out. So that they look the same, but they're a little bit different.
One of them's the first weekend, one is the week one.
Yeah, the week.
One's week one.
Thank you.
The main thing I wanted you to have these 4 was so that you could see what the events were. These are events that are all finalized for both weekends. So that gives you an idea of what the steering committee has gotten established there and doing.
And it gets started Friday over at Fontana Village. Correct?
That's exactly
There
right.
it is. And then Saturday at Stakora. And is it also the Stakora got the Stakora School reunion? Is that
Yeah.
going on this weekend?
Yeah.
too? So y'all had a big crowd over
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah. And good music on Saturday night.
Correct.
Yeah. You can go over there and shake your leg. I think there's a lot of opportunity in this around here somewhere for mountain music and things on Saturday nights. I know they used to do it at the courthouse on Saturdays and had an overflow crowd every Saturday. Because you know what, 50 years ago there was nothing to do here. You know what, 50 years later there's really still nothing to do.
We've got a really good bluegrass band this
Yeah.
Friday night at Hampton. They're really, really good.
So people want something to do.
Yeah.
I mean, there's all kinds of things you can do during the day. You know, fish, hike, swimming, yard sales. But on weekends, there's a lot to do, and getting out with your significant other and get some dinner and go listen to some good picking and grinning. We need some storytellers in this county. We don't have storytellers.
That's one of the events that several people, Amber and Bob Ware, and a number of people are interested in doing, and that's something that we'll.
I'm not surprised Bob's name was in that. He's certainly got the gift of gab.
Yeah. We'll do our best to try to cultivate that and see if we can get it started. Of course, the other thing we talked about before that Amber's really interested in is trying to revive the quilt trail, and that fits into a number of different projects that are going on right now. So I think that would be something that we'll be talking about later on as well. So really, that concludes my report, Mr. Chairman.
All right. That was short and sweet, to the point. When is Debbie coming with the blankets?
The blankets are here.
Oh, okay. And you're gonna take up money?
I reckon.
All right, good. So,
You know, I think I
order one of those, can pick up a blanket. All right. I guess we've got any public comment today. I certainly don't have any new business today. Does anybody have any new business they would like to discuss today? Any old business that you might want to discuss today?
Any update on cable?
Nothing good. No, it's kind of really quiet. I'm hopeful that our friends in the state legislature will try to get us some money to help do that. That would not happen until next year when they're back in session. So that would be a year away. Haven't had time to talk to Andy Gaston. I don't know what the Forest Service has planned for next year. If they have anything planned, I'm sure they're trying to get money to do something. I would really like to see electricity over there, down to the old church, down to the boat ramp. That's the worst boat ramp in the county to try to find at night. It's terrible. And so I'd really like to see
You have
that.
to know where you're going.
Oh, yeah. And if the fog shuts down, you can ride around circles trying to find it. Anyway, that's where it is, Tricia. I wish I had some good news about it. All right. If nobody's got anything else, then thank you all for coming. We'll take a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
And a second from somebody. All in favor?
And we did set our meeting for next month at when?
September 1st is the first Thursday.
That's what I think.
We would go back to just our regular first Thursday, September 1st. Yeah. So Labor Day is September the 5th.
Okay.
All right.
Here. Oh, here or community building?
We can go back to the community building, I think. Yeah. They're set up for the Social Services Board to meet today. Yeah.
21st.
21st. Okay.
So we'll be letting you know about the Lake Trail dedication date, and then that will include what Rick's wanting to do, and we'll just make a day out of it.
Yeah. Party on that.
Maybe get Billy Brown or somebody to cater some lunch and sit by the lake and tell lies about the big one that got away.
I thought, where's that hot dog we was cooking?
Yeah, I thought it was good.
Yeah,
Hot dogs,
that's what I
didn't you?
thought. Yeah.
Maybe you bring the tree.